Wait, are you telling me that there's an alien movie that doesn't take place in the US? What? Attraction is the new Russian blockbuster that is about aliens who crash land in a small district in Moscow. But before I start, I just want to say that, man, finally a movie that does not take place in the US, because it's been a long time since we've seen a bunch of alien movies that take place in freaking United States or just with American actors. So it's always nice to see a change of pace. So let's see how Russia deals with it. And before anything, this movie is actually kind of the opposite of what you would think of a normal alien movie, where there's like an invasion and there's like a full-on attack or war against the alien race. It's actually kind of the opposite of that. So this alien ship that crash lands in Russia has actually been outside of Earth watching us the entire time. And on this day, meteors are supposed to go by Earth, and one of them hits the ship and somehow crashes them into our orbit. And out of nowhere, they enter Russia's space, and with that they send the Russian Air Force and then take it down, and that's where they land in Moscow. So at the center of this whole story, we have Julia, who's the daughter of Colonel Lebedev. Shocker, I know, right? And from the beginning of the movie, we find out that she's actually interested in that kind of stuff, like, you know, aliens, you know, outer space. And on this occasion, you know, the meteors are coming, so that's something they definitely want to see. And ever since this alien ship has crash landed in Moscow, they have started marital law where they can barely do anything. And at the same time, when that ship landed, which was a pretty epic moment, by the way, it kind of just shut down electricity, like water supplies and all that stuff for them. And the small district in Moscow was kind of blocked in, so everybody was freaking out. And Julia, her boyfriend, and some other douchebags decide to, you know, like, hey, let's sneak in and see what the hell this alien ship is. They actually don't beat around the bush in this movie, because we get contact with the alien like almost like immediately right after the crash land. In a way, the alien kind of looks like Ben 10's like little robot thing, but there's way more than just that. And that's where I would stop with the plot, because I think I would give away too much of the story. But all that I can say about this movie is that I was freaking entertained. The CGI in this movie looks really good. The design of the ship itself looks amazing. The alien or the exoskeleton, whatever you want to call it, in this movie looks freaking awesome, and it kind of made me want one. And even though I don't know much about Russian and I had to watch this in subtitles, the acting was pretty good. Now, some of Julia's decisions in the movie itself were kind of like questionable. I kind of just didn't understand why she did that, but it wasn't like all the time. It was just sometime. In a way, this movie reminded me of Arrival and District 9. If you guys have seen those movies, then you kind of know what type of movie this one's gonna be. In this movie, the aliens, you know, they don't crash land there because on purpose. They actually landed there by accident. You know, they were brought down by the freaking Russian military. And it's all that, you know, the aliens don't want to harm anybody. And you find that through Julia and her little adventure, you know, of like getting to the alien. And obviously, if you guys seen the trailer, you know, she does make contact with the alien and she finds out more about it and, you know, what's going on. And since it's in the exoskeleton, you find out, you know, who's in it. And that's where things were really picked up for me, because it was pretty awesome to see that. And I really like the logic behind the spaceship itself, because they give us a lot of background on it eventually, and they show us, you know, where they come from. Now, one of my favorite moments comes towards the end of the movie, where the colonel is inside the ship and he's talking to like some AI. He's saying, you know, like, why are you here, or why'd you visit? And then, you know, he kind of explains like, you know, hey, we didn't mean to crash land here. You kind of brought us down. And then they explain how they perceive Earth and like human beings living on Earth. And I thought that was an eye-opener, because it was like, damn, that's pretty rough. And that was like so true, you know, like they talk about our civilization, and I thought that was a pretty cool moment. There are some things about the movie itself that I would say I didn't like. Like, for example, some of Julia's and her boyfriend's decisions just don't make sense to me. And I feel like that was just done in order to like progress the story, which I guess makes sense. There's another thing that they talk about, the silk, which is kind of like the center of energy that they come from. And I wish that they would have explained that a little bit more, but at the same time I thought it was pretty well done overall. And also I saw some of the reviews prior to watching this movie, and they were pretty negative, and I just didn't understand, you know, what they were watching, because honestly when I watched this I was like, this is pretty awesome. Maybe they didn't understand the Russian or like the subtitles of the movie, but I actually enjoyed this movie. Now, it's not a perfect movie. Like, it has a bunch of cliches that we've seen in like alien movies itself. The story, I guess you can say, is not original in a way, because it has been done before. Like I said, it kind of reminded me of Arrival, but at the same time they do make it their own. And overall, the performances of the actors were pretty good. Like Julia, even though at some points I find her annoying, I actually kind of liked her, especially her dad. Her dad was pretty cool, and the alien himself was pretty funny. Like, they had some pretty good goofy moments where, you know, they come to our Earth but they don't know our mannerisms or anything like that, so, you know, you kind of like becomes this joke, you know, as to, you know, like, oh, you do this, you do that. But I'm not sure, guys, you guys might think differently about this movie than I do, and I can probably say this is going to be one of my guilty pleasures of the year, because I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it, and come on, aliens just want peace and love, man. That's all they want. They don't want to come blow shit up. So if you guys want to watch something different besides the typical alien stuff that we get in the US, then check out Attraction. I thought it was pretty good. Please let me know if you guys have watched it already and what you guys thought about it down in the comments down below. This one was definitely worth a watch. But guys, if you guys like this review, or you guys think somebody should check this movie out, then please share my video to them and give this one a thumbs up. But If you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. It's free. Why wouldn't you subscribe? But guys, as always, stay tuned.